Hey guys, welcome back to Axis and Allies, the Garrison. This is Detroit coming to you from Rochelle Park, New Jersey with another episode of the YouTube Wars. Okay, this is the Garrison, okay? All right, so it is the beginning of Japan's turn. We're in round 5, turn 3, round 5. It is Generalissimo's G.I. Joe's turn to make his moves. Let's see if G.I. Joe can capitalize from the successes that the Axis have had in Europe. Let's see if he can continue on with that trend in the Pacific. Okay, definitely the Axis are on the roll. They're on the offense. And definitely the Allies have been taking the beating. Let's see if the Allies, can turn the ship around. All right, guys, stay tuned. And as always, enjoy the episode. All right, guys, let's review the purchases that G.I. Joe made with the Japanese. G.I. Joe will be buying 3 points worth of damage to his minor industrial complex in Kiangsu. During the last turn, the Americans bombed that factory. The factory only sustained 3 points of damage. He will also be purchasing 3 infantry divisions, 1 submarine, and 2 aircraft carriers. Okay, so these are his purchases, and he will also be carrying over 1 IPC, 1 international production certificate for the next round. Okay, all right, so let's review the current ground and naval situation for the Japanese in the game. All right, so in central China, okay, the Chinese are definitely very thin. The Japanese are very thin. They're currently confronting or dealing with a Chinese army of 8 infantry, okay, in Shanghai, okay? All right, so in the north, there's also a Russian army in central Mongolia that they have to contend with. Okay, they do have a decent-sized Japanese army in Manchuria. They have 1 squadron in Chahar, along with 1 mechanized and armored divisions. All right, let's go further south. The Japanese also have an army consisting of 2 infantry divisions, 1 armor division, and 2 artillery divisions confronting or facing the British forces that are stationed in Calcutta and Burma. Okay, they also have a smaller, actually not a smaller, but a good-sized air force in Malaya, consisting of 2 fighters, 2 tactical bombers, and 2 strategic bombers. All right, the naval situation for them is a little bit different. Obviously, the Japanese Imperial Navy has been pushed back and has basically contained itself in Sea Zone 6, in part because of the earlier setbacks that the Japanese sustained. So Generalissimo G.I. Joe is consolidating his power right now, just for now, in Sea Zone 6. Okay. All right. So the Americans are definitely well positioned in the Philippines. They have a fortress of 10 infantry, okay, in the Philippines, 1 tactical bomber, 1 fighter, and 3 strategic bombers, okay? And of course, the same thing with the Anzacs. They also have a stronghold in Queensland. The Anzacs have been very successful in taking the Money Islands. They currently control the Celebes and Java and New Guinea as well. So the Anzacs are actually doing well financially. Their IPC value is going up. Now, the Americans in Honolulu off the coast of Hawaii, Sea Zone 26, are very, very well positioned with a very strong naval presence, with a fleet ready to strike at any given time. Okay, in California, Western USA, you also have a large Air Force stationed in California, consisting of 6 tactical bombers, 1 strategic bomber, and 1 fighter off the coast of British Columbia. All right, guys, this is it for the current ground situation and naval situation for the Japanese. Things are definitely heating up in the Pacific as well. We shall come back shortly with the order of combat. All right, stand by. All right, here we are with the order of combat. The Japanese have declared a total of 7 battles for their combat movements. Let's review them. Okay, in Xi'an State, okay, the Japanese are blitzing with their armored division here coming from Yunnan. They're blitzing through Shan unopposed and then flanking the British into Burma. So that's 1 armored unit, okay, 1 infantry and 1 artillery division are coming straight from Yunnan. You have a tactical bomber and a fighter coming over from Malaya at a count of 2. So in their gas gauges, these aircraft have a remainder of 2 showing in their gas gauges. Okay, so these are 2 battles that are being fought in Southeast Asia. All right, off the coast of Malaya in Sea Zone 37, you have a Anzac naval transport that is being attacked by a tactical bomber. So that's an auto kill. All right, in the Celebes, you have another Anzac naval transport being attacked by 1 strategic bomber. Now, note that according to the Sire Bloodbath rules, okay, bombers attacking unprotected naval transports are not auto kills. The bombers, because they only have a 1 shot, they only go for 1 round, that bomber must make a kill on its first round. If it misses, that bomber will not get a second chance at taking out that naval transport. All right, the interesting battle from here is the one up in the north in Sea Zone 35 off the coast of the Philippines. You have 1 Japanese submarine, 1 tactical bomber, and 1 naval fighter. Remember that Japanese fighters now attack a 4 because they have super jets, or not, correction, jets. So the technology that G.I. Joe developed was jets as their technology. So they attack at 4. The Americans, okay, under my command, I decided to scramble my 2 defending aircraft, my tactical bomber and my fighter. That's a 4 and a 3, and my destroyer defending as well. So in this particular battle, the Japanese do enjoy a slight advantage because their fighter attacks at 4, and because of the combined arms, that tactical also attacks at 4. So it's 2 at 4, 1 at 2, whereas I'm defending with 1 at 4, 1 at 3, and 1 at 2. All right, further up to the northwest, you have off the coast of Formosa, Sea Zone 20, you have 1 destroyer Japanese along with 2 fighters supported by 1 tactical bomber attacking the single American submarine, performing convoy disruptions off the coast of Formosa. All right, so let's go up further north. In the Amur, you have 1 armored unit coming all the way from Chahar, okay, along with 1 tactical bomber accompanying it, coming from Chahar, attacking the Russian infantry and artillery divisions defending, okay? Now, the artillery and the single infantry division are coming from Korea, and the fighter is coming from Japan, okay? Of course, these aircraft have a movement left over in the gas gauges of 2 reading. All right, guys, that's it for the Japanese combat movements. That was their order of battle. We shall come back shortly with the results of combat. Stand by. All right, so let's review the order of battle, or the results of the battles that were just fought. So this bomber the Japanese bombers attacking the Anzac naval transport off the coast of the Celebes, Sea Zone 44, was successful. It knocked out the Anzac naval transport. The tactical bomber in Sea Zone 37 also was successful at taking out the Anzac naval transport in Sea Zone 37. All right, the battle for Siam, the Anzac forces successfully defended themselves. Okay, even though they were wiped out, they did destroy they did stop the 1 infantry division and 1 armored unit that I had mistakenly said had gone into Burma. That was my mistake. So that armored division actually went into Siam, and that armored division was also destroyed. So even though both forces neutralized each other, Siam is still under the control of Anzac. Okay, Burma. Also, this battle was successful for the Japanese, albeit expensive, with one artillery division surviving that attack in Burma. All right, the battle force off the coast of the Philippines, Sea Zone 35, a tactical victory for the Americans. Yes, a tactical victory for the Americans. The Americans lost one tactical bomber, one destroyer. The Japanese lost a tactical bomber and a fighter. Initially, it looked like if the Americans were going to lose. However, the tide of battle did turn in favor of the Americans. So the Americans have one fighter surviving that engagement. Okay, the U.S. submarine off the coast of Formosa, Sea Zone 20, was attacked and sunk by the Japanese Air Force and Navy. All right, the battle in Amur. Okay, this battle, the Russians lost both defending units. The Japanese lost one infantry division that was attacking as well. Okay, and that's it for the order of battle and the results of combat. Let's go over the placement of the units that were in the air, and shortly afterwards we'll review the non-combat movements and placements of units as well. All right, guys, let's go ahead and do the non-combat movements. I'll try to best explain them as I possibly can. All right, you have an Air Force that was parked in the Chinese territory or Japanese-controlled Chinese territory of Guangxi. You have the two bombers that respectively attacked Burma and Siam, going into Guangxi. The two fighter and tactical bombers that the tactical bomber that attacked the naval transport, the Anzac naval transport in 37, also there as well. The one strategic bomber that took out the other Anzac naval transport, I believe it was in Sea Zone 44, is also parked here. And the bomber that came from Siam that performed that airborne landing is also parked there. Okay, so a correction from my previous statement that they had attacked Burma or Siam. I mean, that it had come from Burma is incorrect. Okay, the entirety of all the aircraft involved in Southeast Asia are now in Guangxi. All right, so the Japanese have coalesced also in Shanxi province. Obviously, the G.I. Joe is doing so that he could check the Chinese army in Chiangshai also. So, yeah. So in J-Hold, you have four infantry, one artillery divisions, and one tactical squadron that was placed there in order to put pressure on the Russian Mongolian army in central Mongolia. Also, G.I. Joe brought over one infantry division from Mongolia into Buyant Uha. All right, so Sea Zone 6. All right, so a total of 3 fighters and 3 tactical bombers were landed on the aircraft carriers, okay, as well as 2 newly built aircraft carriers along with 1 submarine was placed into this specific territory. Sea Zone. All right, for replacement also, you have Jiangsu. The 3 points of industrial complex damage were removed, and G.I. Joe also placed along 3 newly placed or recruited Japanese infantry divisions. All right, let's look at the income tracker. According to G.I. Joe, he is collecting a total of 49 IPCs. He carried over 1 from the remaining, from this turn remaining. So he actually has 50 IPCs in his treasury. The Japanese treasury now has 50 IPCs. All right, just one issue that I want to address. is the issue that came up this earlier today, where G.I. Joe realized that he had made a tactical error by leaving his fleet relatively unprotected from the American fleet that is now poised for attack from Season 26, as well as the American Air Force in Western California. G.I. Joe obviously made his moves late last night. Earlier this morning, he went ahead and made a recap video where he placed 2 of his destroyers in Season 16, effectively checking a possible attack from the American Navy. According to the bloodbath rules, each defending ship can block up to 3 naval units of an opposing fleet. So in essence, the attack that would have happened would have been negated by the fact that he was putting up blockers in Season 16. All right, my teammates and I consulted. We spoke very thoroughly about this issue, and we felt very adamantly that G.I. Joe was in violation of basically the rules of the game, and we denied him the request that he had made about placing, for us to allow him to put his blockers in Season 16. I mean, there were multiple reasons for us making that choice, but we all consulted, all 4 of us, Dutch Lancaster, War-Torn, and Corporal 24, and myself. We definitely agreed that that this was just too way a bigger mistake that G.I. Joe had made on his end, and for us just to ignore. Okay, so being the fact that we are currently losing the war at this point in time, it was too big a mistake for us just to set aside and cut him some slack. Okay, unfortunately, G.I. Joe, I'm sorry, my brother, but it is what it is. We did consult with each other, and we decided that it was only fair. As you well know, we have in the past chosen to look the other way for other transgressions. This time, however, the error was too big for us to set aside, especially now in round 5. That is a critical, has reached a critical stage of the game where leniency can definitely hurt us at this point in time. Okay, so once again, we apologize, but we do believe that we are on the right on this, and I hope there are no hard feelings, because after all, we're just about playing the game and having a good time with good friends. All right, guys, this is the end of turn Japan, the turn for Japan. So we're almost halfway through round 5. Okay, so it is now the USA China turn, which is basically my turn, Detroit. I'll be making my moves shortly. Please bear with me while I upload this video for you guys to review and assess and enjoy. All right, guys, as always, please don't hesitate to make your commentaries. This round was a very contentious and problematic because of what had occurred, but it is what it is, folks. Anyways, as always, don't forget to bunker down and let us know in your commentaries what you guys think. Are we wrong? Are we right? Our choice, our decision to deny G.I. Joe the ability to put up his blockers after the fact, almost 8-10 hours after the fact, after he had completed his initial moves. Are we right in denying him? Please make your commentaries. Let us know. I look forward to hearing from you. Guys, as always, don't forget to bunker down and play.